This is the guy who did this whole thing. This is my, okay, if you want my opinion, because I said I was going to wait. But here now, so I'm just kind of like, hey, listen. If you want my opinion of this, which is unsubstantiated, my opinion is that this guy, somebody asked me about this. Yes, I know about Neil Gaiman. I'm not ready to say anything yet.
Really? Because it's kind of done.
Really?
Like, so, did you read the Vulture article?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know all the stuff that's in it.
Ooh.
And he finally had his response to it.
Oh, did he?
Yes. He wrote on his website. And his response was, I didn't rape anybody. It was all consensual.
That's what I heard too.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you read that article, it's like, outside of rape, there's a lot of shit in there. I'm like, and that's the only part you're addressing?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's innocent, because the stuff I read was foul.
It was horrific.
Yeah, it was nasty. Now, if it's consensual, I don't kink shame anybody, but it sounded like he just, like the women he was with just weren't ready to take it that far. Yeah. And he kept going.
Well, plus there's also the whole thing of him being, what they call a sex pest. The fact that he was, preying on these young girls who were like fawning over him because they love his work.
Yeah, I can't listen, y'all. I can't even bring up the article if they go into details because the details are nasty. Yeah. Nasty. Listen, I'm nasty. Y'all know this. So if this thing makes me turn, it makes me do the black man blush.
Yeah.
where you can listen, dark skin don't blush. Unless you read something like that, where it's so nasty, it's just awkward reading it even by yourself.
And it just keeps going on and on. It's just so much. And yeah, like that's the only thing he refuted.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff in there. You're like, man, consensual or not, this is bad.
Well, listen, if it's consensual and the women said fine and they agreed, I don't care what anybody does as long as it's consensual and it's not breaking the law. But
there's stuff they did in front of his son.
Allegedly did in front of his son. See, this is why I don't want to say anything, because he's refuting this and saying that, okay, yeah, I did some nasty things, but I never did this with my son there. Although there are a couple of reports where women say the same thing. Yeah. So I just waited. I just waited because I didn't, I was said it's gonna get worse. I don't know how worse you can get than what I read, but I was like, it's gonna get worse. And at that moment, that's when I'll say something. Yeah. But I just read that 2 days ago, and I was like, well, because one of the girls admitted that it was consensual. Mm-hmm. Some of the women said, it was consensual. I still got paid off though because I was gonna violate the what do you call it?
NDA.
The NDA. So when I hear women say, okay, it was consensual and what, I just kind of wait to see what's going to happen. Yeah. It's not, and believe me, I ain't defending. I'm not attacking, not defending. I'm just saying, I just want to wait. That's all.
Yeah. Well, he's in that position of kind of like Joss Whedon, where he purported himself as a feminist.
Yeah, I know. No.
And most of his writing is very, I won't say female centric, but just sympathetic. And, everybody loved his writing, but women especially felt comfortable with him. And there's all kinds of, it's almost one of those things like with Cosby, where it's like, well, it was a well-known secret, a worst kept secret that so many people knew. What
I was going to ask. This is another one where people knew about this guy. And I actually, when I think about it, yes, they have been saying things about him. Recently it's just been coming out saying, well, especially when Sandman came on Netflix, it started creeping out where it's like, this guy's a creep. This guy's weird. This guy's, even if it's consensual, a lot of people said he's just pushy.
Yeah.
And also, he sounds like, even again, if it's consensual, the dude sounds like a groomer.
Yes.
This is the guy who did this whole thing. This is if you want my opinion, because I said I was going to wait. But here now, so I'm just kind of like, hey, listen. If you want my opinion of this, which is unsubstantiated, my opinion is that this guy was writing all this stuff that appealed to females, very young females.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that a lot of these young females, even when they weren't of age, a few of them, he was already, talking sweet to them, gassing them up a little bit, as they say, grooming them, so that he could probably potentially have, some sexual activity with them one day.
Yeah, especially when they were the ones who facilitated him showing up for signings and all this. And they'd be the one to drive him around, spend time with him. And, he used that. Not coincidentally, the way he was with the all black, the shades, the bushy black hair is a lot like a guy we knew.
Oh, yeah.
Who was doing the same thing and went to prison for it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's nothing about with the Neil Gaiman thing that said the girls he was with were underage.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But they were just much younger.
They were very young, and I get the feeling that this guy was kind of a chicken hawk with these girls.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I get, because these girls would gush over this guy, and he had a huge fan base of young females. So, I'm sure the temptation was there for him to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my...
Yes.
That is my vibe.
Yes.
That I get from this dude.
Yeah.
And some of the things that they were talking about, like how he would he was making moves on the nanny, and and he was some other girls who I think were in a position of vulnerability. He was taking advantage of them too. It was out of pattern.
Yeah, and stuff with his now I guess ex-wife.
Yeah.
Who would tell the girls or be like, oh, you got to watch yourself around him.
Yeah, this dude.
But not be specific.
Yeah. Look, I'm not. That's why I'm trying to be careful, because I'm not trying to say the guy's a pedophile. I'm not, and I'm still, wondering where the line of, consent fell with him and these women, because I don't know, because he's saying his thing and they're saying their thing. But definitely, the guy's kind of a groomer, kind of a little bit of a I don't know if stalker is the right word, but just
a lot of it. So masochistic.
Yeah.
Or like sadomasochistic. Just like I said, there's so much that's in there, but his denial is only for the one part. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, again, he said that they, it was consensual, and some of these other women said the same thing. So I don't know, but you could still be consensual with somebody and still be kind of a creep.
Yeah.
No, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much
easily.
so. Yeah. No, I mean, if you. You could still be consensual with some people and still have predatory habits.
Yeah,
predatory characteristics.
You know where to push and where to manipulate, and
And the guy's in a position of power.
Oh,
and I think that's
sure.
the thing. I think he took advantage of it. I think there's a guy, and let's also keep in mind that this guy comes from that time period where these women didn't have the voice they have right now, and dudes were out there, they were taking full advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and being in the position of power he's been in, it's a thing where if somebody wanted to say something, if they did, they'd be like, "What? Him? No, you got to have that wrong."
Yeah,
no, I don't believe it.
Yeah, but I do think that even if it was agreed upon with these women, they again, the act was consensual. It sounds like he just kind of pushed it further than these women wanted to. And I mean, he did. I can tell you some of the details if I haven't read it. He's a big, he's into I guess S&M, and that whole master and servant type kind of sex kink, where he would, he would make them call him master, and that's another thing they said. Yeah, okay, I might agree to it, but goddamn, I put the safe word down. And he's like, ain't no safe word no more.
Yeah.
And he kept going.
Yeah.
And the results after that led to that's where it got nasty. When they didn't stop or he didn't stop, it took a whole other level of just grossness. So, and again, I'm not like I said, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been a young guy. I think I made some mistakes with women. I'm not trying to act like I'm better, but listen, you look at some people, like I said, I've been immature with sex. I've been immature with women. I've been and like I said, today I'm still nasty son of a bitch, but god damn, you look at this and be like, I ain't never been that level.
Right. Yeah. That's why you would at first kind of soft pedal at first. You go like, well, everybody and the time period and, I've evolved and maybe he didn't know. And then you read that, you go like, oh, holy No, I'm not defending this at all. I ain't relating this to me.
Well, yeah, no, the thing I read that really bothered me was, or made me kind of, cock my eyebrow a little bit. I was like, all right, so when a couple of women said, there's no safe word with this dude. That's the thing, if you're going to do this kind of act, the safe word is the big deal. Mm-hmm. That is there to keep you safe.
Yeah.
So if they don't feel safe around this guy when they're putting this word out there, that's a problem.
Right.
So let me just say this. It gets to a level where it doesn't matter if you're talking about, hey, look, we it's consensual, we all agreed, and no, there was no rape involved or pedophilia. But the thing is, if you reach that level where these women don't feel good around you or safe around you, and that's coming around from a lot of women, chances are you probably a creepy dude. And at this moment right now, even if he didn't really legally do anything wrong, it's gonna be time to sit his ass down.
Oh, yeah. That's the wild thing. You read that and you're like, okay, there's no pedophilia, and say if we take rape off the table, there's still enough here. There's still way too much here to say like, yeah, you're over. You're done.
Yeah.
And
this is the definition of canceled. Right there.
Oh, absolutely. Just when you thought there was no more canceling, it's like, nah.
Oh, no, canceling's around. We just ain't throwing it around loosely no more. We ain't handling canceling coupons out like we did before.
Yeah.
Like, you got to earn that shit now. And he earned his.
He earned it. And that's the thing. So many people who are fans just feel sick and betrayed. And they are like they're throwing away their books. They're like, I can't even look at these books anymore. And he's a brilliant writer.
Oh, no. And a lot of people, I was looking at the chat earlier. Somebody said, listen, it's as bad as it feels, the guy's talented. Yeah. He's an amazing writer. Mm-hmm. So why'd you have to do this? I did not know. God damn. We can't have nothing. I'm telling you, man. I ain't got no more heroes.
No, that's why I keep telling people, stop putting creators on a pedestal. Don't have heroes. I don't even want nobody telling me I'm their hero. Like, stop. I'm just a person.
No, I'll take that. But I'm all right. I'm a nasty hero. But no, listen, I believe this is what I believe. The last hero we had, Mr. Rogers, he gone now. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised they dug up on his
some shit.
I would not be surprised. Tom Hanks, I'm sorry, man. I'm not a believer anymore. You are not a national treasure. You ain't done nothing, but I gotta be prepared.
I gotta harden my heart.
Yeah. Ain't nobody out there.
Nobody. Just don't do it.
Damn.
Don't make that a habit. Admire their work and what they've done. Do not look up to the person.
Fictional characters I don't believe in no more.
Nope.
Superman. I don't trust you no more.
Hey, every so often when I thought about getting a tattoo, I thought, well, maybe if I get it of this fictional character or something. But every so often something will come out and be like, nah.
I'm waiting for Lois Lane to come by and say he ain't so super.
That's right. He had hoes in every country.
He held me down with nothing I could do.
Yeah, what can I do? He's got
Superman. I wonder if Netflix is still going to go through with their plans because, Netflix.
That's what people are wondering because the second season's been shot.
The second season's been shot and it's finished. First of all, let me see here because let me see. Y'all know Sandman. It was on Netflix. Actually, very good. I had never read Sandman before, and I watched this, and I was impressed with it, man. I loved it.
I'm the king of dreams.
You know the Sandman. He's a fairy story, Hetty.
Funny thing is, so a couple of things with this. Netflix said, look, we shot it. It was done. We got nothing to do with him. So we putting this shit out. But now it's getting so heavy with this information about him coming out. One, I wonder if the pressure's going to be on for them to remove it because of that. And two, he's modeled after Neil Gaiman, man.
Yeah,
the Sandman is Neil Gaiman.
I know.
So it's like, are people going to be able to look at him and see it the same way?
I mean, it's my hope that people can go, listen, I know he wrote it, but there's a lot of other people involved in this.
Yeah.
Whose livelihood depends on it, who worked hard to put this thing together.
Yeah. But you know how people are.
I know.
Yeah. No, man. Shit, I feel nasty watching this.
Yeah.
I
can't blame him. I can't blame him.
Yeah, no, but who knows, man? I think they'll release it and it'll be fine. But that's probably going to be the last Neil Gaiman thing you're going to see out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And somebody said feel bad for the actor.
Yeah.
Even the actor's like, God damn, I am that guy. Shit.
I'm sure he doesn't look like that outside of that show.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah,
So
he quickly shaved his hair and dyed
it
bleached
blonde.
it.
Yeah. Shit, but I don't know. He might have pulled the Tropic Thunder, gone black.
Right.
No, I don't know who that is. Yeah, y'all. Neil Gaiman, man. Well, I was gonna avoid talking about it because I felt some kind of way about it when I read it, but I was like, man, I don't like to be judgmental when I know everything. But shit, my true feelings came out of that because I read that.
I was with
nasty.
you. I was with you when they had the first few allegations, but it's like, well, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna be bad, and then to read it, I was like, I was not prepared for it to be that bad.
Kevin King sent me the article, and he said, man, first of all, he came with a warning.
Yeah, oh yeah.
From Kevin King, he's like, hey, warning, this is kind of heavy.
He's like, man, I ain't no pussy. Let me read this shit. Oh, God. It's still going.
Shit, I wish I had a safe word for that article when I was reading it. And then I read the details, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to read all these details.
No,
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if y'all want to read that article, the article leaves nothing to the imagination. They put it out there. So yeah, check it out. But Neil Gaiman, I think I can safely say, I mean, listen, I don't know. Times are so crazy. I don't know how anybody could bounce back from this, but it seems like he's pretty much done. He has to pull something like I see a situation being like Jim Kricfaluski, from Ren and Stimpy, amazing artist, awesome animator, sleazy guy. And what he had to do was, because he was dating a 16-year-old when he ran his studio and paraded her around like nothing.
Yeah.
And later she came out like, I was 16. I was shitty of him to do that. And so what he did was he just pulled himself out the spotlight, pulled himself out of the public eye. He's kind of a recluse now.
Yeah.
What he does is that he still makes a living selling his artwork online. So who knows how this guy what he'll do. But yeah, that's how I see him. I see him just being out the public eye, just being a recluse kind of somewhere, at least recluse by celebrity standards.
Yeah. I think I thought was interesting was that, you have several celebrities denouncing him. Yeah. And one of them was J.K. Rowling, which was interesting because when Harry Potter came out, everybody was like, well, this is Neil Gaiman's books of magic. The character looks just like him. And they asked Neil, like, you gonna sue her? And he was like, nah, man, it's cool. Everybody borrows from something. It's all right. And I was like, dang, he could have made bank off that and chose not to. Yeah. And, she was one of the first people to go like, he's a monster. I was like,
well, at least she was right about that. Other than that, sit your ass down too. I'm trying to hear you. Shit. Another crazy one out there. Well, there you go, man. Wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess it had to be said. So yeah, it's too bad because, like I said, man, I hate to see people who put great works out there just end up being shitty people behind that.
I hate that too, but also like you say, I feel this way too. I hate for these stories to be true just because of to know that this happened to somebody, those victims.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, man, I would love for it to be that y'all were lying just because that would mean that these horrific things didn't happen.
Yeah, for real. So there you go, people. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, crazy things have happened. 10 years, this dude might write novels again. Who knows? Who knows, man?
It's funny. You look at people who got canceled and they ain't have shit on this.
No,
like you compare like Jonathan Majors to this. Come on.
No, shit. Even Kanye West with his crazy ass. Somebody said he praised Hitler. He didn't rape Hitler though.
Well, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Actually, they're perfect for each other. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.